Welcome back to episode 2 of Wisdom Wednesdays. I had to say it slow because I keep getting tongue-tied. So thank you for tuning in again. And the topic of discussion for today's Wisdom Wednesday is ancestral veneration. As we talk about year 9, as we talk about inheritance, as we talk about wisdom, your ancestors are everything. They are the blueprint. They are the cheat code. So when a lot of people think of ancestral veneration, depending on what knowledge you have been exposed to thus far, you may think of offerings or an altar or practices, religion, whatever you may associate the ancestors with, depending on what knowledge you have been exposed to thus far, as I just said. But I wanted to give people a different perspective because ancestral veneration, ancestral work is all-inclusive. It should be all-inclusive, right? Because we have to do the work. The ancestors are calling for their healing. The ancestors are calling for us to tap into the gifts that they have, been waiting on their lineage to see. I was thinking about my grandmother and how my grandmother could shift the atmosphere of any room effortlessly, easily, and she mainly did it through laughter. And I don't even think she was aware of her power. She wasn't. She knew that she could kind of move things around, or, she kind of like, but I don't think she really understood the power that held and the influence that held, her ability to do that. And so I was thinking about how that's a gift, My grandmother transitioned October 4th of 2022. And when she transitioned, she gave her gifts, freed her gifts back into the lineage. I have decided to take them up. I'm not missing out on any ancestral gifts. If the ancestors are working for my highest good and they are saying, here, use my energy, use my gifts, I would be a fool not to, right? So I want people to understand that a part of ancestral veneration is remembrance. Remembrance. I think so many people get caught up on, I don't remember their voice. I don't remember how it felt to hug them. I don't remember all of the things that we connect to this physical body, to their physical essence. But you have to understand that what you saw before you was something that was spiritual. You have to remember who they were. You had to remember who they were. If they laughed a lot, you are honoring them when you choose to be in a space of laughter. You get what I'm saying? It's as simple and as deep and as intimate as that. When you decide to be a joyful person because your grandmother always had a smile, or your auntie or your uncle or your brother or whoever it is that you may have lost, whoever it is that may have transitioned, when you choose to be in a space of their energy, you are honoring them. That is ancestral veneration. You are keeping their memory, their essence, and their energy alive. And when you are keeping it alive, you are building a connection with them hereafter, right? Beyond the veil, wherever they are, we know that our ancestors are just in a different space, a different time, beyond our earthly understanding. We still feel their presence around, or we know, like, duh, that was Granny moving stuff around for me. Duh, she wasn't gonna leave her baby here to figure it out. She's even more powerful after she has transitioned back into her natural material, her raw essence, right? So that is building a line of communication. When you are keeping that alive, you are able to receive more and more and more wisdom. You are able to receive the downloads that you were supposed to, that are going to help you throughout your day-to-day life. So I want you to understand that it is as simple as being within the energy that they gave you. Like, for instance, my grandmother was kind and she was compassionate, and she cared about other people. So to honor her, and of course I am who I am, but I would not be anything without her, period. Like, that was my foundation. That was who set the foundation for me. So I am kind and compassionate towards other people because that's what I grew up seeing. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy that was nurtured into me. And I want people to understand this. When you think parts of you are gone and dead forever, that innocent part of you, you are blocking your ancestral connection. You are blocking your ancestral connection and your divine gifts because you were saying, oh, I can't be this person because what? This person hurt you, or the world abandoned you in whatever way you feel like the world has rejected you or abandoned you, or however you feel. You are blocking your inheritance because you were saying, okay, I am cut off from this way of existing. It is not possible for me to regain parts of myself, to regain this connection within myself. So you are denying and rejecting those gifts. And we have to be careful, right? We have to be very, very careful about how we act. It is all about actions. So that's what I mean when I say that it is a clear line of communication when you choose to act on the energy that is at your disposal. It is at your disposal, right? And your ancestors will be with you. There will be people that you think about giving that energy to, and they're like, There's other people that you think about giving that energy to, and they're like, yes. So it's discernment as well. So as we talk about wisdom, as we talk about the ancestors, as we talk about this line of communication, that is another part of it. Another part of it is discernment. Discernment. So as the ancestors continue to give you knowledge and they continue to give you wisdom, you have to know when to give that wisdom and when to keep it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because some stuff is for the world and some stuff is for you, your family, and your lineage, and your close loved ones. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's kind of where we talk about the recipes. You know what I mean? Just because Granny's mac is tasty doesn't mean that you can freely give out the recipe. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So there are secrets that are going to be told to you to make you a better parent, to make you a better member of society, to make you an all-around evolved person within yourself, though. That is sacred. What I am saying is some of the wisdom that they give to you is sacred. And so, yeah, that is another part of ancestral veneration. Now, I also want to get into offerings because there are a lot of closed practices, okay? Some shit is closed, some shit should be closed. And especially if you're not Black, when they say that it's closed, they mean that it's closed. Yeah. Now, when we talk about offerings, though, that is free to any and everybody. If you want to give your ancestor an offering, that's what you do, and that's what you should do. So for me, I choose to give my ancestors offerings of things that they were not able to enjoy while they were alive. My grandmother was raising 2 children and a husband and had so many other things going on. Do you think that she had the time to go on a nature walk and enjoy the flowers? Not very often. So I like to give earth offerings to my ancestors. Now we talk about connecting with them intimately and deeply. Your ancestors, some of them, they may not go for it. You know, that's from lineage to lineage, to bloodline to bloodline. We all have our different karmas within our own individual bloodlines as well. So there's a list of other things that, you know, may factor in. But for me, I personally believe that, okay, let me be real. My grandmother died of multiple organ failure. A lot of her organs were failing. I believe a lot of it had to do with her diet throughout the years. A lot of it had to do with her diet. Why then would I go and put pork chops on the altar when that's the same energy, vibration, because forget the food, energy and vibration that literally killed her? Why would I go and give her 5-layered mac and cheese that clogged her arteries? So for me, I do what makes sense for me and my lineage. And I like to give earth offerings. I like to give pieces of fruit because the energy of, what does an orange represent? Orange represents joy, right? Orange represents vitality and other things. I don't know. Look up the spiritual meaning of oranges. So oranges symbolize something, right? So I'm looking at the symbolism of what I am giving to my ancestors. I'm looking at the energy that is attached to what it is that I'm giving them. So a piece of sweet fruit that represents that's the energy that I want in my life. And that's the energy that I'm going to give to them so that they can multiply that and double that. And so that they can heal, right? Like they should have been eating fruit. They should have been enjoying nature walks and flowers. They should have been. So I'm giving to them from a place of that, of giving them an offering of something that they can enjoy because they didn't get to enjoy it when they were alive. So I want you to understand that your practice is your practice, baby. Your practice is your practice. You connect to your people how you want to connect to your people. Okay, if you decide to get into a religion or a practice, please honor the rules that come with that. Have some respect for the elders that know what they're talking about. But I have always been a little bit of a lone wolf and a rule breaker. And that's why I don't put myself in a box of a certain belief system, because I believe many things. I believe many of things. It just won't work. So that's just a little bit of advice to somebody that maybe feels how I feel, and you're like, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know how to talk to your people. You know how to give to your people. You know. So ancestral veneration can be as simple as that. Just setting little things on the altar, okay? Lighting an incense. That is a big thing. Smoke. People underestimate the power of smoke, the element of smoke. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love to cleanse. I love smoke. I think it's so mystical and it's so magical. And I connect with it so deeply. So make sure that you are just giving them some smoke as well. I don't know the connection yet, y'all. I'm not even gonna pretend that I have it all worked out. I just know that smoke is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know that the burning of cedar and what cedar represents. So it's all about what something represents. Look into what it means spiritually, okay? So I know that me burning cedar, look up cedar. I know that when I burn off lavender, oregano, basil, pine, I know what energy I'm calling into my space. And I know by default that the ancestors that mean my highest good are able to come in, and the ones that do not, they are not invited, respectfully. May my children, who are going to be their own individuals and different from me, may they be able to provide healing, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. Not every ancestor is going to be for you. Let me tell y'all a little quick, beautiful story. There's an ancestor of mine that served in the military, and he left because they were not treating Black soldiers right. And he was like, I'm out of here. Later on in his life, he became a high-ranking Freemason. And so that is a magical man. That is a magical person. That is a magical man. There's things that he lived through and things that he went through in his life that I will never know. Not true. I almost just hexed myself up, tied myself up at my feet by saying I never will. That's not true. I need to ask this ancestor about parts of their life that I am unaware of, because there is so much potent, magical energy in his DNA, in his wisdom, in his essence, that I have been invited to obtain. I had a dream where he basically told me to wake him up. I'm being very careful about what I'm putting on the internet. I had a dream where he told me to wake him up, put him on the altar. He's ready, because especially as we deal with the patriarchy and men and the masculine energies with the wounded egos. Women, if you are up against masculine energy, you better call on your masculine ancestors. Yes, ma'am. You see me? I'm dainty. I'm dainty. I'm cute. I'm cute. I don't want to be out here fighting. Not in that way. So you connect with the ancestors who are really about that. Like some of our ancestors, we watch all the movies with the warriors and we look up to them. That's your ancestors. That's within you. So wake that up. Yeah, wake that up. So connect with your ancestors, because this ancestor called to be on the altar. Once I was at a certain level of understanding, once I had obtained a certain level of wisdom, I was able to understand my dreams. And that's a big thing, y'all. We all the time are like, I don't know what this dream was about. I don't know what this dream was about. I don't know what this dream is about. You may not ever know what they're about if you do not tap into your ancestors. Most of the time it is them. Most of the time it is them showing you events in your life, things that are going to happen, how their presence may benefit you in your life. You need to pay attention to your dreams, but you need to have that door opened. At least have it cracked. At least have it cracked. I always advise people when it comes to ancestral work, because water is a portal, water holds memory, water is one of the most powerful elements. I always recommend that you start out with a cloth, clean cloth, a glass of your choosing that you will not drink from. Do not drink from this glass. This is strictly for your ancestors. Fill it up to the very, very brim in a photograph of them, and light a candle and watch how things move around in your life. You don't have to be afraid. If you're afraid of your ancestors, it's okay. Maybe right now you're not ready to do that because you're nervous for whatever reason, or you're afraid. Hey, I grew up Christian, apostolic to be exact. I had a lot of deconstructing to do. So I understand where you're coming from. But if you ever feel on your heart that you are ready and that this is a step that you want to take, just because you're like, you know what? Why is it okay to have a poster of, I don't know, Nicki Minaj or Meg Thee Stallion or freaking Usher, but it's not okay for me to have a picture of my granny, of my uncle, my auntie, the people that raised me? Do you get what I'm saying? So if you ever come to this space where you're ready, that's how you start. A cloth, a glass of water, a candle, and just sit. Just spin. When you light that candle, sit. Journal if you feel like you need a journal. Sometimes a thought may come to you, and that is the ancestor speaking to you. And I also want to be clear when I say the ancestor speaking to you. It will most of the time, it will be your own voice. It will be your own intuition, your own inkling. A thought will come down to you, and then all of a sudden things in your physical reality will start to match that. Like you'll think of, damn, I wish I would have got Granny's meatloaf recipe. And then all of a sudden your auntie calling you like, girl, look what I just found. I found you get what I'm saying? So, don't miss out on the synchronicities. Take things for what they are. Just laugh about it, right? This journey isn't supposed to be so serious all of the time. Again, back to the start. Being within their energy and within their essence allows you to be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more trusting of the process, because you feel comforted, you feel surrounded by love, you feel encouraged, you feel like you have wise counsel and solid guidance for your life. So that's what this is about. If you have lost somebody, I have lost people too. The pain, the grief, the loss, but please let me serve as proof that there is an after. There is an after. And here is the after. The after is understanding that energy never dies. This person is still with you. You are them, they are you. And I want to say this to Black people: my ancestors are your ancestors if we good. If we good, we good. If you against me though, you don't want to meet mines. You don't want to meet mines. That's all I'm gonna say. But we good. We good. Can I fit it in? I can fit it in. I can keep going. To white people, do your ancestral work. Don't say you're calling on your ancestors to get back at people, because listen, you call upon your ancestors on me, Good luck trying to raise the frequency up from hell. Hello. So with white people, how you do your ancestral work, find out those ancestors that were pieces of shit. Because some of y'all have their picture hanging up in your hallway because your mom told you this was your great grandfather. Yeah. And some white people, some of your bloodline is pure and all. I'm sorry, but I'm not here to do the work for y'all. I'm here to do the work specifically for black people, okay? So I'm just giving y'all some advice. There is somebody out there that can help you. Hands down, there's somebody out there that can help you. It just can't be me. So with that, y'all have work to do as well. You can't ignore your work. Black people are doing all of this work to heal our lineage from trauma and pain and heartache and poverty and adversity. You have to do the work too. And sometimes that's realizing, like, oh my gosh, I come from racist. I come from racist people. I don't want to be like them. So then you start doing whatever work you need to do. Thank you for tuning in to this Wednesday's wisdom. That sounds okay. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, honor your ancestors and you will be wise beyond your wildest dreams.